Hello and welcome to Rosberry Crafts, my YouTube channel where I share all my crafty adventures. Today is January 25th, 2025, and this is episode 123. Welcome to all my new viewers. I hope you enjoy my little corner of the internet. And thank you very much for coming back, for all my returning viewers, commenting. I've had so many comments in the last couple of weeks. I really appreciate all the interactions here and on Instagram, Discord, all the places. If you would like to support the podcast, you can share it with a friend. You can like and subscribe down below. You can just give me a thumbs up. That helps. Or you can donate on my Ko-fi page, which is also linked down below. My name is Roz, and I live in Lake Country, British Columbia, Canada, with my husband and my two kids who are 14 and 13. And I have a few segments for you today. I have a finished object, work in progress, events, next on my needles, and books. So let's get started, shall we? Finished objects. Before we do finished objects, I am drinking some Earl Grey cream today. This is part of my Tea Runner subscription. If you like loose leaf tea, definitely check them out. They make amazing tea. They have a huge selection of Earl Grey flavors, which is my favorite at the moment. There's not much of it left, so I don't know that you can really see it, but just know it is delicious. I have linked to their site down below. And then finished objects. I have a big finished object. I'm feeling so accomplished in January. I know that I finished my sweater last week. I finished the Snow Wonder. Check out last week's episode if you want to see more details on that. I've worn it out. It was delightful. The friends we were out with, they know that I'm a knitter and that I make things for myself. But she commented, she's like, oh, that's such a nice sweater. And I'm like, oh, I made it myself. And she's like, oh, I should have guessed. So anyway, that's my sweater. That's not what I finished this week, but there was a lot of yarn. And so is this. And you'll have to excuse the ends because I haven't washed it yet, but this is now finished. I will put in some pictures here while I'm talking about it so that you can see it in its glory. I used all but 1.5 of the mini skeins from the Advent, and it's just beautiful. It turned out wonderful, soft, squishy. I am gonna wash it in my washing machine. I have a wool cycle in my washing machine. So it basically just like soaks it and then spins it out. So it's kind of emulating the same thing that I would do if I was just washing a hat or something by soaking it in water and then getting all the water out of it and letting it dry. But when I spin it out in my washing machine, I have a front load, so you can spin it out and get all of the water out of it. And then when you go to dry it, it takes, just a few hours. We'll see with a project this big. I don't know exactly how I'm going to dry it because I have sweater racks. If you've watched any of my Vlogmas before, you've probably seen my sweater racks because I put my hand knit socks and whatever else I'm hand washing for the week goes on there. But anyway, I have this all folded up, but I am going to try and show the different pieces of it. I do have details about all of the yarn and the card with all the different makers on it. But near the end, I kept on forgetting to take pictures and mark them. So the last few, you just have to make a guess. But some incredible Canadian dyers. Maybe I should go over some details first. So the pattern that I used is the Zigzag Zen blanket by Anina Yudi. And I did it similar kind of color style to what she did, where she had one, I keep looking down at it because it's so pretty, one kind of main color as the alternating stripes with the mini skeins. I knew that I only had 20 grams in each of my mini skeins, so I wasn't going to make a whole stripe in the mini skeins as we got bigger and bigger. But I just kind of went with it. I just finished off one, started another. So when it's all laid out, it looks mishmash and random, and that's what I was going for. So it's worked out great that way. So you start off with a couple of squares. You start off with one square, you add on to the side by picking up stitches and leaving half of them on hold, and then you pick up as you go along. So down the center, and it's really hard to show on camera, but down the center you get this zigzag kind of stitch. That's terrible, just terrible. Anyway, that's why I've got a couple pictures in there for you as well. But yeah, it's just worked out so great. Used up so much yarn. I did buy the gray last year in order to do this project. So, you know, total in and out, maybe not as much as I had hoped. I got way more gray than I needed. I still have over 300 grams left of the gray, but it's Knit Picks Stroll in a gray color. So definitely I will use it for lots of things. All of the different colored mini skeins here are from the 2023 Polka Dot Creek Advent. Like I said, I have all the details about the yarn in my Ravelry page, which is linked down below, along with everything else that I talk about. So yeah, I did, and I don't know that I would do this again for a blanket, but I did the Weave and Steven method on the back here for all the ends. And I don't cut them until after I wash it, because everything kind of, you know, lays out and gets zhuzhed a little bit. It's probably going to stretch out some because it's garter stitch. So then all of these ends will be trimmed after. But I think it even looks good on the wrong side, other than where I wove in the ends, which I did not do a great job of. And I'm not going to go back and fix any of them. They just are what they are. It's a blanket. It's supposed to be just laid out and not looked at too closely. While I was just laying it out now, I did notice a couple places where I missed one of the yarns because I held everything double. And I don't know where it is now, but I missed one. Oh, there. You probably can't see it on camera, but the yarn didn't get into the stitch, so it's just hanging out in front. I'm not going back to fix it. It's fine. Yeah, so that is done. I've marked it done in Ravelry, calculated my stash out. I think my January numbers are going to be really great to start off the year. Let's throw that over there. And next up is the only other project I've been working on. I always have a hat or socks or something on the needles for my out and about knitting. And I'm just getting this sorted on the needles here. I have this purple hat. It is a child size hat, so it looks small. It is small. And yeah, the pattern that I'm using for this is Musselburgh by Isolde Teague. I have made a lot of these, and it's a great pattern, and you can use any gauge. You start from the top down. Obviously there's the crown there, and you just keep going. And the pattern is to make a double thick hat. I only have this much left of the purple, so I'm going to finish another kind of color section. You can see the colors kind of fading in and out of the purples. I don't know. I'll keep going for a bit, and then I'll change to some ribbing, keep that going for a bit until I run out of yarn, bind off, and call it good. That'll be a hat, and it'll go in my donation bin. The yarn that I'm using is, and I even have the tag here, it is a really old yarn. This is from a place called Elan.com. They are no longer in business, and this is their Sock It To Me shades in violet. Doesn't even say on there, color 86. Doesn't really matter. But I do have brown, maroon, and green in this same yarn, so that is definitely going to be used up. It's very old stash, and that's one of my goals for this year, is to use up really old stash that's just sitting there, figure out something to do with it, and use it up. Okay, what is next? Events. For events, I'm still participating in the Downseller Studio Pigskin Party. This is ending on February the 10th, the day after the Super Bowl. You get one more day to kind of take pictures and wrap everything up, but it followed the football season, and I have a couple big projects, and I'm hoping to finish that Musselburgh hat, maybe a couple other things before there. It's a couple weeks away, so you know, we'll see how much we get finished before then, and I mostly do it just to participate in the community and to have fun with it. I don't push myself to do anything in particular. I did do one of the monthly challenges this year, which I don't know if I've ever done any of them in the past, so that was super fun. I did some colorwork hats. If you've watched previous episodes, you have seen those with some fangirl fiber yarn that I had. Yeah, but you can check out the link to Downseller Studio in the notes below. Next on my needles is, since I finished the blanket, the giant blanket, I have some other old yarn, and I'm trying to pull it all out here. Let's see if I can just get one of each. So I have, yes, they're very Christmassy colors. I have some Knit Pick Stroll in the white, hollyberry, and pine. The pine is one of the oldest according to my Ravelry stash, so that's where I started. And I'm going to make some DK weight socks out of this. I have lots of yarn for it, so I'm going to do that. And I'm very excited about this. The pattern I'm going to use is called the Great Outdoors Socks by Carly Perrins. Anyway, it's up on the screen here. You can see it's a pattern that I have seen on Ravelry. It's been in my queue for a long time, and this is the perfect yarn to do it in. So the toe is going to be white, and then there's like a color work section with trees, and then most of the sock is green, and then you just get a little red stripe at the top. I would have put a picture in at some point, so you would have seen that. But yeah, so Knit Pick Stroll fingering, and then I'll probably keep going with another pair of those socks. I'm not sure which ones from that use up more of the red and white, because it's mostly the green that's going to be used there. So that is that. That is all of that. Now that I'm thinking about it, I might actually swap out and make the green the toe and the white the rest of the sock, because I have more of the white. I don't know. We'll have to see. I have to look into this further. You'll have to wait till next week to find out what I actually do with that. I'm planning on casting them on this afternoon. I had my shingles vaccine yesterday, so I'm just having a chill day, letting my body do its thing to fight off the fake virus. But then I'll be protected, so all good things. Okay, last up is books. I did finish an audiobook this week. Mike finished the Mistborn series last year, and this year we decided to swap. So he really enjoyed that series, and so he is reading a series that I really enjoyed, which is called A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. He is on the second book. I finished the first book in the Mistborn series called The Final Empire, and it's by Brandon Sanderson. You know, he has incredible world building. His writing is right up my alley. I loved the style of his writing. There definitely are a lot of characters, so it's a little bit hard to keep track of, but it does focus on like a couple main characters, so that's kind of easier to follow that way. I enjoyed it. I can't wait for the second book, which we have on audiobook as well. We subscribed to Audible, and so we used our credits to get those. But first, and I'm in front of a window, so it's kind of blowing out a little bit. Let's see, there we go. Oh, there, that's good. First up, before I get into my new audiobook, I'm reading Onyx Storm. It came on Tuesday, and I had a couple other things that I had to finish, so I'm only finished chapter 1. Don't post any spoilers. Also, I have this lovely bookmark that my daughter made. You probably can't read it, but it says, "Can't stop reading." Yeah, so that's my plan for this afternoon, is read my new book, because this is a big book, and it's hardback. I haven't figured out a way to read physical hardback books and knit at the same time. If it was on my Kobo, which I could have bought it on my Kobo, but, and you probably can't see it because it's down below, but down here I have the hardbacks of Iron Flame and Fourth Wing, which are the second and first books. So I wanted to get the hard copy, and I didn't want to pay for the ebook as well. And I'm sure I will read it again and again because it's one of those series that I will enjoy. And once Taylor's old enough, I'm sure I'll let her read them too. She's sitting over there doing a project today. Maybe she'll come on and show it when she's done it in a few weeks. She's not looking at me. Oh, she gave me a thumbs up. Good. So if you hear any background noise, there is a 13-year-old crafting over there. Anyway, back to my books. So that is my plan. I have a feeling that I will rocket through this pretty quick. That will be my entertainment for the evening most nights this week. And I think that's everything for today. Nothing else on my list here, so we'll call that an episode, and we will see you guys again next time. Bye.